Hi everyone, welcome back to the garden. All right, today we are going to be beheading all these beautiful Echeverias. I hate to behead them, but it's something that is very necessary with all these big beautiful Echeverias. Um, Summer is coming and they're already overgrown. As you can see here, these are babies that are attached to my ruffled Echeveria. And they're burning from the bottom. They need their own root system. So it's a necessity at this point, and we're going to be doing it. I chose nighttime because that's when I felt that would give them a little more time to recuperate. I'm going to be leaving the ruffled red Echeveria stump in there. So I wanted it to be less stressed with the sun and the heat and have the nighttime at least to get over the shock. But I don't know how you can get over losing your head, but we're going to do it. As you can see here, it already had like a big gooseneck. It was too long and it just needs to happen. I had a rock there. It looked beautiful still in the garden, but imagine it growing another 5-6 inches. It would just flop over and just get ruined. So yeah, it hurts, but you have to start by taking off all the leaves around the bottom. You're going to be leaving like about, well, don't stress over how much you cut from it. You can always go back and cut it a little bit more, but I like to leave about 2 inches from the bottom. And here I have a very sharp, clean knife. And yep, so just start cutting it. Since I will be leaving this stem in the ground, I chose to cut it at an angle again so that the moisture won't puddle inside the stem. And here you have it, nice clean cut. What I'm going to be doing is placing these in just some empty pots. They might have a little bit of soil, but they really are not going to be touching the soil. And I just want them to callus and to start forming some roots. So they'll be in this container for like 2-3 weeks and see what kind of a root system we get going, and then they're gonna go ahead and be planted in the ground. But yeah, just keep them in a cool place out of the direct sun. I have to kind of figure out where I'm gonna keep them, so I'm gonna be moving them. But here I am inspecting the daughters. These are still attached to the stump with a long vine-like stem. Here you see. So I cut it a little bit longer, and I am removing all the leaves from the bottom that are kind of spent, or just to expose a little bit more of the root, so that, not the root, but the stem, so that you can get some root system going there. It kind of stimulates it if you remove some leaves. So here I am placing it. And oh my goodness, I cannot believe how many babies this mama had. Beautiful, substantial, big babies. I love this Echeveria. It's very hardy and one of my faves. Yep, so the stump still has a baby attached that I'm going to be leaving there. And the reason I'm leaving the stump, it's kind of like an experiment to see if we get more babies off of that stump that I'm leaving there. So you guys are going to be finding out with me if this is a better system than taking the stump out and putting it in a pot. I find that I tend to neglect stumps that I do that to, and they just look ugly. This one I'm going to be camouflaging it with a bit of my mint truffles cotyledon. So yeah, hopefully that'll shade it a little bit and give me some more babies. Yeah, this propeller succulent is not looking too good, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it and restart it. It had a really bad infestation last year, so yeah, it didn't fully recover. Look at this awesome just branch of babies. It's not fully a crest. It's kind of like a 3-prong branch, but these are from the ruffled red Echeveria too. Look at that. Beautiful. They look like little roses. So gorgeous. Yeah, unfortunately I cannot keep this on the branch. It is too top heavy. There's no way I can just put it in the ground and it's gonna stay up. So I'm going to have to separate these sisters and cut them. Here I am taking out my propeller plant. I will be restarting that one. And just cleaning up. I love that I have this awesome light that allows me to work at night. And I didn't know how this was going to work out, but I kind of like the fact that I can see the bugs, the spiders and the centipedes and all these things going around. Here we have the beautiful, beautiful Sahara. She's got babies. So here I have another situation going on. She looks beautiful still. She's not too elongated, but she's got tons of babies that have no chance because she's shading them and they're albinos. So I'm going to go ahead and cut her and hopefully give those babies a chance to develop. I will be protecting them, kind of shading them also with some Cotyledon. And just be very careful when you stick your knife in there. This plant is so like sturdy. It's rubbery like. It's like if you're cutting rubber. Look at the big girl. Wow. She's so gorgeous. Again, this is one of my faves. She was ready to be cut though because, yeah, all those babies. But she's actually pretty clean from the bottom. She doesn't have too many damaged or dead leaves, which is surprising. But yeah, again, we have that situation with the babies.
Oh my God.
Here we have a damaged leaf.
Isn't that pretty?
And wow, look at that. All right, well, our next beheading is going to be our golden tooth aloe. I have several of these throughout the garden that I have to do this to because they tend to grow tall. Wow. And kind of leggy. They do have a lot of leaves at the bottom, which, you know, if you prefer that tall look, you can leave it like that. But I find that these, they like to be cut, and I like them better if they're more compact in the garden. They're easy to come out, as you saw, very little root, but here you have to use a knife and kind of like take off all the leaves at the bottom in order to expose a stump.
We're gonna reset it just right there.
Yeah, and these, if your ground is dry, you can just go ahead and reset them in the ground and they should do fine.
Okay.
This is the BELEN Echeveria, and she is one that has been with me since the beginning almost. And
see what's going on with this one.
I've never done this to her. I've never beheaded her because she just looked fine. She's had some babies, but very unsuccessful. She doesn't pup out a lot. She gets a lot of bloom spikes that look like pups, but they're not because I've tried to plant them and they don't work. But here you're seeing her gooseneck. She does have quite a stem. So here I am cutting it. And yeah, as I was saying, those bloom spikes need to go so that the mama can have some energy, callus, and make some roots. All right, our next beheading is our ESMERALDA. And this one too, she's been with me since I got the BELEN. I got the ESMERALDA Echeveria. So she's probably like 3.5 years old, and she's gorgeous. I've never beheaded her before either. And yeah, again, this is one that doesn't pup out too much, and I haven't been able to propagate babies from this one. But yeah, look at her gooseneck. She's long, and even though she looked beautiful, this was going to become a problem this summer. So here I am taking off those excess leaves so that I can stimulate some growth from the stem. And yeah, just go ahead and grab your clippers and clip off. You know, some people just like when they behead them, they cut them right almost to the bottom, but I like to just leave about an inch or 2 inches. Beautiful girl. All right, here's the IMBRICATA, Echeveria, and this one is smaller and it tends to pup out a lot. And when I was looking through my garden the other day, I noticed that she had babies. So here we have a situation that I did take her out of the ground, but I will not be beheading her because she does have those tiny babies on the stump, which I want to give them a chance to grow, and I'm going to let them stay attached to the mama as long as I can. But I did take her out, kind of clean her from the bottom, and hopefully those babies can just get more light and just thrive. I did put a little bit of garden soil in the dirt so that they have a little bit of nutrients. I don't use really anything special, just regular garden soil is fine as long as it drains well. Here we have the Cameronia aloe, beautiful, beautiful orange aloe. And I found another one somewhere between the, yes, just overgrown stuff. So I'm cleaning her out. And yeah, roots are optional here. I'm going to go ahead and cut them. She's going to get really stressed, really beautiful. And just make sure that your soil is not too wet. But I did find a problem. My soil is still getting very soaked from some areas from the hedge that they water, the association. And yeah, I'm very sad about that. This Ruticope aloe is just gorgeous. This one pups out tons and it stays very compact, very little. It's a short aloe. It doesn't grow too much. I have like 2 years with this one. And it is a producer. It pups out a lot. Just make sure that it doesn't have any aloe mite or other insects that can attack it, because it does grow in clumps. And pretty much removing the babies is just like any other aloe. You kind of try to separate them and cut them off. And this gorgeous Agavoides Echeveria is one of my faves too. It is so hardy, and the fact is that it has been bombarded by all this water from the other side. And it's still producing and not totally rotting, but you can see that it is ready to explode. It is so full of water. It is so heavy, and yeah, it has tons of babies, so I have to be very careful with this one. I probably should have done this a while back, but I wanted to give the babies a chance to get a little bit bigger before I separated them from the mama. But the situation that I have going, since they're so wet, oh, look at, they're just, the petal, they're saturated, they're pure water. It's dripping as I'm taking these leaves off of the poor plant. And since they are so clustered with the mama, I found that this one had so many insects. I mean, I found centipedes, all kinds of spiders, and I hate killing the insects because yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, I draw the line at insects because they hurt the plants. I mean, spiders don't usually hurt plants unless they're spider mite, but still you get a lot of spider web, and that causes a lot of extra work because you have to clean up all those spider webs. Yeah, so here I'm continuing to just harvest these babies from the mama, and I will be letting those callus because they're so wet. The mama is just so wet, and all the babies that, look at this. I mean, it's just pure water. So I'm very happy that I decided to do this to my Echeverias, because I know that it's scary, but this is the only way to keep them healthy and to really make them live longer. because if you do just let them flop over, chances are you will lose them. So here I am dealing with the insects. So again, be very careful when you're uprooting these plants, especially the ones that grow in clusters, because they are full of insects sometimes, and it's not very fun. Finally, I was able to get to her, and I went ahead and filled the hole where she was with a rock, because this is obviously a place that it gets saturated in the garden, so we don't want to put another plant through that. Here is the beautiful, beautiful Bounty. This is a night shot, and of all the plants that I was able to cut and maintenance, and I still have this tub of beautiful, beautiful Echeveria and ruffled red Echeverias, my propeller plant. And I'm going to let these callus a little bit and then just find a place for them in my garden. Oh my gosh, I wish I had a bigger yard because I could have another bed just like this one with all the plants that I can reuse. These plants definitely are something that gives you so much joy, and it just continues to give because they have babies, and it's just a beautiful thing, beautiful, peaceful thing to have a garden to go out to and just breathe and forget about the day and just enjoy life. We are so lucky, even if we are going through hard times. That's the cycle of life, and how you deal with hard times is what makes up your life. So I wish you guys health and happiness wherever you are. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. It helps circulate my videos, and that helps support my channel. So thank you again so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and welcome to all the new subscribers. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.